Well, hello and welcome to my weekly update. Residents of North West Hampshire, my electors, the people for whom I work. A few things to talk about with you this week. The first thing, obviously the big news this week, is the Article 50 debate. We've been deep into the weeds of the hundreds of amendments that have been put down by the opposition parties to what is a very simple bill. Authorising the Prime Minister to trigger Article 50. It's become very clear over the last 3 or 4 days that the vast bulk of those amendments are designed to obfuscate, confuse, create legal difficulties for the Prime Minister in the future. Some of them are very poorly drafted, they're vague, they're just really, they've gone for quantity over quality, and that, to be honest, has been the downfall of the opposition campaign. As I pointed out in my speech today, if they'd focused on 3 or 4 substantive amendments around which they could rally opinion, then they might have been able to steer the government in a particular direction. As it is, because of the confusion and the divisions on the opposition benches within the Labour Party, between the Labour Party and the SNP, we've got these hundreds of amendments, a snowdrift of them, which have largely fallen on deaf ears. There's been some very detailed demolition of them by colleagues Mark Harper, Oliver Letwin, on the government benches, but broadly they've been kind of brushed aside, and the government is getting very significant majorities, much better than it thought, for getting the Article 50 bill through cleanly. That's key, really, because it needs to go through cleanly so that when it gets to the Lords, those unelected people don't feel that they can mess with the democratic decision of the House of Commons based on the democratic decision of the British people in the referendum. That's key, because we need the Prime Minister to go into the negotiations after Article 50 is triggered with a clear sense of purpose and a strong mandate from her Parliament to negotiate. Second thing to talk to you about, to report back to you about, is the Broadband Summit. As I advertised in the last video on Friday morning, in King's Clear, we held a broadband summit with BT, Broadband Delivery UK, and the County Council to talk about how we're going to get superfast broadband to the last 4 or 5% of people in North West Hampshire who don't get it at the moment. It was a very interesting and stimulating session. We had about 100 people there, all from villages all over the place: St Marybourne, Ashmansworth, Steventon. People came from all over the constituency to see what technology they can use and when they're likely to get this broadband through. I like to think they got some answers, a bit more clarity. We certainly put them in touch with the decision makers, so I'll be pushing for more progress on that over the months to come. Third thing is, I don't know if you've noticed the news or if you watch the economic news, but it's interesting how the good news just keeps coming, isn't it, post-Brexit? You know, employment is high, manufacturing is doing well, house building is going okay, retailers had a little bit of a stutter under Christmas, but that seems to be driving forward now, and it's all culminated in the new forecast that will come out from the Bank of England, pushing GDP growth up very significantly this year, next year and the year after, and positioning us as the fastest growing economy in the G7 for this year and probably next year. That's great news, and it's interesting that against the backdrop of this Article 50 negotiation, it looks like consumers and businesses across the UK have confidence in the future of this country and are investing and spending to show just that. So see you next time, when I've no doubt there'll be even more good news.